All right, what's up, guys? This video is just going to be a quick introduction to Adobe Premiere. I'm using CC 2019, although all the tools and techniques that I'm showing will work for any of the CC versions of Adobe Premiere. For footage, I am just going to be remixing or cutting up some found footage using the Victory Auto Wreckers commercial, which if you're a resident of the Chicagoland area like myself, you would have recognized this commercial a lot from the 90s and early 2000s. So I have some file of the footage right here. It's just an MP4. I have Adobe Premiere opened, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. There are some settings to choose here. You might want to choose where you are placing the file for the project. I'm going to go ahead and name this Jenner. It's a footage remix, so let's just call it remix. If you need to choose where you're placing your project, your Premiere project, you can click Browse right here, find a spot on your computer. I already have it in a folder for this tutorial. All of this I'm not too concerned with for now, just for learning the basics, so I'm going to hit OK, and I've got a Premiere project. So first things first, up here at the top we have a number of different tabs here called Assembly, Editing, Color, and each of these represent different steps of the video editing process. For instance, the first step is going to be assembling the footage that you are going to be using for your project. For us, we're only going to be using one clip. But then the next step is going to be editing. Each of these tabs really just change around which windows, what tools you can see in Premiere. At any point, you're able to go to Window, Workspaces, Reset to Saved Layout, and it'll automatically take you back to the default. So if you start clicking around tabs or moving windows, Window, Workspaces, Reset to Save Layout. So right here where it says Import Media to Start, you can drag and drop a clip there. I'm going to go ahead and double click. You can also click this button down here. There's a bunch of different ways, but if you just double click here, I locate my footage. It's not in my downloads. Try not to keep all your stuff in your downloads. That's for my students. And I'm just going to grab the commercial, hit import, and now right here in my product inventory, I have that clip. It's about 30 seconds long. From there, I can just drag and drop it onto my timeline right here, and I've got something to work with. So that's the only clip we're using. Let's go over to editing. Now what I see is that same inventory down here, my same timeline, my same preview window right here. But now right here in this window, I have a source, which there's no clip yet. If I click on this, it might change. But now I've got some effect controls and some audio stuff that I can click on. Maybe more on that later. Let's just get to basic editing. Down here in my timeline, I see my clip. It's about 30 seconds long. So this is measured by hours, minutes, frames, and seconds. If I wanted to zoom in, because this is pretty small, this bar down here lets me move around my timeline. I click and drag it to zoom further in. Lets me see a little bit more. Now here's my playhead. If I click and drag on my timeline, I can move my playhead in positions at different points in the video and choose where I'm going to be editing. So let's say I want to cut out the part where the door falls off. That's the fun part, right? Because this door comically falls off this beater car. I'm going to click and drag my playhead, which is called scrubbing, right there. So the door's about to fall off. Now what I'm going to do, right over here, I have a series of tools. Right now I'm on the arrow tool, the basic selection tool. That's V on the keyboard for a hotkey. The next tool, and really the only other tool I want to show right now, is the razor tool, C on the keyboard. This lets me click and cut individual pieces out of the video. If I have a playhead somewhere, it'll snap to the playhead. It's going to click there, and that cut the clip in two. I'm going to drag to the point where the door has fallen off. Wobbles around a little bit, and once again, cut. So now I have this clip isolated. If I want to do anything with it, I need to go back and grab my selection tool, V on the keyboard. And now I can edit this little piece of clip individually. I can drag it to another video or audio track. This is video right here, and then this is the audio. And what I can also do now is I can duplicate it. So for instance, if I, in any Adobe software and most computer software now, if you hold Alt or Option on your keyboard, it's Alt on a PC, Option on a Mac. If I hold Alt and drag, I can create a duplicate. Let go of my mouse and hold spacebar to play. And there, now I've got a duplicate of that little clip. I'm going to go ahead and click and drag, select these both, hold Alt and drag again. And it kind of snaps to the end or to the playhead there. But boom, now I've got this repeating part of the commercial, which is kind of cool. All right, I want to keep this kind of short, so let's do one more technique. We learned how to import audio. We learned how to make a new project. We learned how to cut stuff up and move stuff. If I wanted to trim, I can click and drag here, make clips shorter. What I want to do, though, is like, let's say I want the clip to either be slowed down, sped up, or even reversed. If I click on one clip, I'm going to right-click it. I have a whole series of more options, some of which I can recognize. I can kind of recognize cut, copy, paste, and stuff like that. Unlink lets me, if I click unlink, it lets me move the video completely separately from the audio. That's kind of useful. There's some other cool stuff in here that we can get to later videos, but the one that I want to look for is speed and duration. So now I'm editing the speed and duration. I can change the speed. Right now it's at 100%. This clip lasts 2 seconds and 5 frames. If I wanted to, like, speed it up to twice the speed, that's 200%. Now it's going to be 1 second, 2 frames. So it'll be twice the speed. But let's put it back at 100, and let's click here, reverse speed. What that's going to do is it's just going to flip the clip. It's going to reverse it or play it backwards. Other things like maintain audio and pitch. If you know how, like, when you slow down a video, it gets like really like deep voiced, or when you speed it up, it gets like really high, like the chipmunks. If you click maintain audio and pitch, Premiere will try to keep it the same tone, so it doesn't go all chipmunk or all super deep voice. So I'm gonna reverse my clip. This little FX square is now yellow, meaning that there's an effect on the video. But if I hit spacebar to play, whoop, and now it loops. Let's do the same thing to this clip. So I just have this little like back and forth. Pretty cool here. Right click on the clip, speed duration, reverse speed, and boom. So that's it. If you're one of my students and we're working on this project right now, I just want you to start playing, moving stuff around, changing things, see what you can do, see what cool effects you can do, play with some of the audio. But that's all I want to do for this video. Thank you for watching.